sometimes we actually need to look at the relationship we have with ourselves before analyzing the relationship we have with other people. Now, being in a toxic relationship with yourself um, is actually beyond the constant negative self-talking or self-talk. I mean, it can go as far as you ignoring or neglecting your personal well-being, neglecting your hygiene, blaming yourself, constant negative self-talk. It can go as far as that. And hey, you can actually go above living that way. You can actually learn how to love yourself. I know this is cliche, I know it sounds cheesy, but trust me, you can love yourself. Now, the reason you're actually loving yourself is not because the last video talked about why you should love yourself before loving someone else. You need to actually love yourself for yourself. That's self-care. Now, for you to love someone else, you should be able to tell yourself or know within you that you love yourself enough to be able to move or transfer that love to someone else. So if you don't love yourself enough, how do you want to give someone else the love? How do you want to love someone else so much if you don't love yourself so much? You see, that doesn't even work. And that's why you need to be sure that you are not in a toxic relationship with yourself. You need to be able to deal with some of your toxic traits to be able to move into a good, pleasing, wonderful relationship with someone else. You get, so you don't ruin it for you and ruin it for the both of you and ruin it for the person, and so you don't also ruin the person in return, right? Right in this video, we are going to be talking about 5 signs that you are in a toxic relationship with yourself. And we are also going to be talking about how you can change from that to this, how you can basically move that around or go around that, changing it from what it used to be to what it's supposed to be. It's not going to be easy. I'm not saying I've arrived on this. And this is a disclaimer stating that this is in no way a substitute to therapy. I am not a therapist. Now, I would like you to also do well to select or actually gravitate towards the video that actually resonates with you. Means that you don't have to take everything that I say, or you don't have to see me as a therapist, because I am not, right? I read them and I share them with you, and I feel like it's going to help someone out there. So you guys, without further ado, let's just dive right into the video. Hey guys, welcome back. Right, number one on my list that you are in a toxic relationship with yourself is you struggle with self-care and putting yourself first, or putting your needs first. Okay, let's be as straight and real as possible. I know self-care is not as easy, or is never as easy as Instagram makes it look. It is beyond the face bath, the whole face mask, the whole candles. You know, they all have their place, don't get me wrong, but it really doesn't have a long-lasting or impact. You know, it's actually part of self-care, but self-care that we are talking about, it goes beyond that. Instead of actually relying on all these sporadic gestures, I think it's best to actually look at mental maintenance. How do you do that? Taking out some time to find yourself, taking out some time to do things that actually keep your head calm, keep your head cool, like regular, consistent exercise. You know, it could be for some hours. It could be like you just doing dinner, something to just make you stress-free, something to make you take care of yourself. It could be a movie, it could be a book, it could be a game. Just do something that good. If you have to go on solo dates, I always say this: solo date doesn't have to be you dressing up and going to a very expensive restaurant. It doesn't necessarily have to be that. Let it just be self-care. Put yourself first. I know you have work to do. I know you have timelines to meet, schedules and all that, but try as much as you can to take out a little time to take care of yourself. If you are not doing this, if you're struggling with self-care, if you're struggling with putting yourself first, I don't know, you may just be having a little toxic relationship with yourself. And I think it is okay. You can fix it. It's okay. It's normal. We're humans. I mean, we're all going through it. So, but just take your time. Take self-care seriously. Number 2 on my list is you thrive in chaos or you thrive on chaos and drama. If it's whatever you are, a relationship, a group, or and you know that you thrive so much on drama and chaos, you are there and it's dealing with your mental health. You find yourself actually doing so much, arguing, ready to fight, ready to be so many things, drama. Try to take yourself out of it, try to fix it, try to, engage more in peaceful conversations. There's something tranquility does for you. There's something peace of mind does for you. It just gives you this calm and serenity. It makes your heart is calm. The way you think, the way you see people, it's just totally different. Yeah. So if you thrive on chaos and drama, please try to work on it. So you can have a very good relationship with the opposite sex. Yeah. Number 3 on my list is you can really be hard on yourself and feel like nothing you do is good enough. I feel like every Nigerian has felt this way one way or the other. If you haven't felt like you're not doing enough in Nigeria, then I thank the God you serve, because just being in Nigeria alone is a hustle. It's a big deal. So with everything going on in the world, going on in Nigeria especially, it's okay to feel like you're not doing enough. It's okay to feel that way, but I don't think that's actually a good thing to feel, a good way to feel. Let's not normalize it. I feel that way sometimes, like I'm not doing enough. There's someone out there thinking that you're doing so much more, so much, so good, but you're down in your room thinking that you're not doing enough, having sleepless nights and thinking your brains out. I am a serious overthinker, so I would think everything possible. I would think so. Best believe it's almost everything, everywhere, most people experience, and it is not normal. Let's not normalize it. If you feel that you are not doing enough, it's not a good trait. It's a toxic trait that you have with yourself, and you need to really calm down. You need to calm down. Who are we to blame? Nobody. We're not blaming you. I mean, the society made it that way, but we have to try somehow. We have to look for a way to be better and, not die off so soon or so quick, trying because we're thinking we're not good enough. You can actually find a way to find yourself, and don't dwell so much on the things that you are not doing well. You should dwell on the things you are doing well. And let's look for a way to, find a way to thrive, but not in negativity. Let's look for positive ways to get ourselves ahead out of this. It is not easy. I'm not even going to lie to you. It's not easy, I know, but we can't keep being in toxic relationships with ourselves. If you are constantly feeling like you're not doing good enough, constantly, that's the word, consistently, it's okay to feel that way 1 or 2 times, sometimes, but when you are consistently doing that, it becomes a problem, and it's a way of being in a toxic relationship with yourself. And let's not thrive on that. Let's not thrive on that. Number 4 on my list is you talk down on yourself and you constantly criticize the things that you do. The word there is constantly. It's okay to be that way, but constantly becomes a problem. You can be constantly looking down on yourself. You can be constantly talking down on yourself. Do people actually talk down on themselves? Why? Like, I feel like you're your greatest cheerleader. I feel like you should look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that I'm doing so well, even though you are not doing so well. Like, just look for a way to encourage yourself and all that. But when you're consistently telling yourself that you're not, looking down on yourself, feeling inferior, you have inferiority complex. You have this insecurity going on in your head amongst your friends, amongst your colleagues, your peers. I don't know. You need to tame it down. You need to literally tame it down. If you find yourself constantly telling yourself things that you wouldn't tell a friend that you love so much, or even a stranger, then it's best to become aware of it, to try to fix it. You need to tame it down, right? I know all of this I'm saying is not easy, it's not going to be easy, but we need to start first. We need to really start first. Why? You can't be going through all of these and carrying all of this baggage to go into a relationship with someone else who has his or her own baggages too. And you guys come together and collide, and there's an explosion. Most times, that's why most relationships don't even last these days. People are carrying packages, people are carrying, hurt. pains going around meeting people. They really want to love you, but they can't even help themselves. Now, that's why you need to first work on yourself. Fix this, your toxic traits. And know you are free. If this video gets to 50, 20 people and it gets to another 20 people, it has done its job. Work on yourself first so you'll be able to take something else to someone else who you want to be in a relationship with. So if you are consistently looking down on yourself, self-talk, criticizing yourself, I know that inner critic is very difficult to silence, but you just have to try to silence it. Inside, you are always telling yourself you are not good enough. You're telling yourself that, you messed up. Oh shit, you can't do it. This, that. I can't even relate. That's the point. That's why I'm unable to see pretty well, because I cannot relate. Like, why do you have to talk down on yourself? No, please. Don't talk down on yourself. Don't look down on yourself. You are doing pretty well, pretty okay. You should applaud yourself. I know it's not easy. We want to get it all together, but most times it doesn't even work like that. We can't get it all. It's never complete. I realized we can't get it complete, right? So the earlier we realize this, the better for us. Appreciate what you have. Really appreciate what you have. Where you were last year is not where you are this year. Where I am this year is not where I was last year. And I have things going on I need to fix, but I'm still grateful. And you should too be grateful, right? You should be grateful. Really, yeah. The last on my list on signs that you are in a toxic relationship with yourself is you ignore your own boundaries. I talk about boundaries a lot. I think I'll also attach it. In the description box, I'll attach the video about boundaries, how to set boundaries for yourself. If you ignore boundaries, you're going to feel depleted. You're going to feel like you're taken advantage of. You're going to be feeling like someone is taking you for granted. So it's best you set the boundaries. The boundaries can go beyond so many things. It can go as far as you saying no. It can go as far as you sitting your ass down in your house. Then I used to tell my friend that there are some waka that are very, very, very useless waka. Trust me, that when you come back, you'll be like, did I actually me do this waka like this? You get it? So set boundaries. If you set boundaries, you know when you are saying no, I'm not stepping out on my house. I'm not coming to so place. I'm not going to so place. You set that boundary and you don't ignore those boundaries. Because when you ignore the boundaries you've set for yourself, that's like you're in a toxic relationship with yourself. You can't even set boundaries for yourself. How do you set boundaries for other people that are coming into your life? So setting boundaries is something that cannot even be overemphasized, because I've talked about it so many times in most of my videos. Set boundaries. It can go as far as you blocking. I talk about blocking a lot. I know it sounds rude, but you don't just wake up one morning and block people. I told my friend, was it yesterday, that I had to unfollow someone on Instagram, right? Had to unfollow. It was like a pressure to me. And why do I have to be pressured when I can actually unfollow something that is pressuring me or putting me under pressure? I have to unfollow. When I'm calm, I'll follow back. That's how it works. I'm not perfect in setting boundaries, but if it's going to deal with my mental health, I am going to build. That's the truth. So if you struggle with setting boundaries or you ignore your own boundaries, how do you want to set boundaries? In a relationship, you want to move forward with someone else or the opposite sex. Yeah. That being said, let's talk about what you should do or steps you can take to actually turn this toxic relationship with yourself, how you can change this toxicity to, something good. First, you don't have to dwell on the past. Even if you're talking about the past, it's going to open up fresh wounds and all that. You trying to move on, talking about it, you might want to still go back to the past. You still have to look for a way to not dwell on the past. It's not going to change. The deed is already done. That's the truth. The deed is done. Don't dwell on the past. That's one. Number two, practice self-compassion. I talked about this in one of my videos. Practice self-compassion. Love yourself. As much as, I love money. I love to be pampered. I love to be, but if it's going to deal with my mental health, if it's going to deal with my peace of mind, I'm going to bail. I am going to quit. I don't know if that makes me a quitter, but if my mental health is at stake, my peace of mind is at stake, I'm really going to quit whatever that it is that is, threatening my mental health or my peace of mind. Basically, that's what it is. So, self-compassion, that's where it comes, and love yourself enough. Like, love yourself so much. You would know what is not good. I know it's so difficult. Sometimes we're in a place where we know it is not good for us. It is not good for us. But we're still there. I don't know. Human nature is so. Can you remember my popular mantra? No one owes you shit. Hold yourself accountable in so many ways, in so many different ways. If it has to do with this toxic relationship issue, you have to hold yourself accountable. Know that you are the reason why relationships haven't been working out for you and other people. Try to hold yourself accountable. You can't keep pushing blames or apportioning blames. I mean, you are the reason this relationship is not working out or hasn't been working out. This person you're in a relationship with has been constantly telling you to work on this, and work on this. You don't find yourself working on those things. Those are toxic traits, and you should hold yourself accountable. Now, instead of always being the good person in the story, every 5 person that comes into your life and goes, you are always the good person in the story. How does that even work? You try to paint them really bad and make yourself the perfect person in this story. It makes no sense. Deep down, your inner critic is telling you the truth. You know that you are lying to these people. You know that you were making this, just hold yourself accountable. That's one way you can actually come out of a toxic relationship with yourself. If you keep running away from being accountable from the things that you were doing or did that made your relationship not work, you can't come out of that toxic relationship with yourself. We're going to be truthful with ourselves. That's another step to take. Another step to take is to actually be patient with yourself. Patience cannot be overemphasized when you're talking about dealing with toxic relationships with yourself. Now, if you're not patient enough, you're going to want everything to work so fast. Healing takes time. It's a process. And I used to say that I don't think people actually really heal totally. I think time makes you forget. Time makes you forget. So I think I should be saying you should give yourself time. And that's the patience I'm talking about. Be patient with yourself. You don't just come out of a relationship and you're jumping into another relationship. Serious relationship. You have baggage that you haven't dealt with. You're trying to heal from. How do you want to actually do it well with the other person? The other person cannot give you that healing. He or she may try, but they can't give you the complete healing you need. You need time to fix yourself, right? Basically, another step you need to take and in working out or trying to come out of a toxic relationship with yourself is start therapy. This cannot even be overemphasized, even though here in Nigeria, it's seen like therapy is for mad people, but that's not what it is. Therapy is for your own good. It's like you're going to see yourself in the mirror. You're going to see everything, the way you think, the way you see yourself, the way you see people, the way you see things, basically. And a professional will guide you through. A professional will guide you through. But if you're not seeing a therapist, you can do it your own way, but it's advisable to see a therapist. If you are in a toxic relationship with yourself, you can resonate with any of the signs that have been listed, maybe you should see a therapist. That could help you, hold your hand in hand, guide you, see things for yourself, help you set boundaries, so many things. I also talked about journaling. If you haven't been taking journal or writing down your thoughts, the way you think, the way you feel at the moment. I started journaling this year and it has helped me a whole lot. I feel like no one should see my diary or my journal, because it's a whole bomb in there. The way I feel, the way I think, the way I see things, everything that almost happens in a day in my life, I kind of just put it down, and it gives this kind of relief, so you should try it sometime. If you don't want to do journaling, you could find something that works for you. So these are the steps you can take to actually walk out of a toxic relationship with yourself. We're talking about with yourself now. We're not talking about someone else now. And try to heal before going into something else. Try to heal. Someone else will not make you heal, will not help you heal. You're going to take all of those things and project to that next person. And I'm sure that's not what you want for yourself or the relationship you just found yourself in. Yeah, so thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned one or two from this video. And if you have, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Hi to my new subscribers. I'm sorry, I had to put this here because I just wanted to see that the first thing you're seeing on the video is basically the actual video. So I hope you watch this video to the end to see this end or this part where I am appreciating you for joining my channel, subscribing. Thank you. Please like the videos, comment, share, and welcome to my channel, Nineveh. You're going to have so much fun here. You're going to learn a lot, and we're going to be G's actually. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time on the next one. Don't go nowhere. See you. Bye. Peace out.